$30,000 feels like an inevitable step at this stage, doesn't it? But how? Isn't 50% gain in a few weeks meant to exhaust buyers? No, probably not. I'll explain why in this video. Plus, we've had the resurgence of the rhetoric known as alt season. I have some pretty strong opinions to share about this in this video. But first, a very smooth transition indeed. A potentially beneficial word from our sponsor. Do you worry about taxes from cashing out of your crypto? Do you have no fiat left because it's all in crypto? Are you a long-time hodler? Are you an idiot? Then get a Crypto.com account and make your life a little easier. Pay for your entire groceries directly in crypto with little to no fees. Earn cash back and enjoy staking rewards for just holding your crypto. Link in the description. So, seeing how we blew through 25K like it was no big deal, 30K was looked at by many traders to be the next level of resistance because, and this is really important, it's a big round number. I'm not joking, that's the only reason why. Great logic, but that's how trading uncharted waters goes, I guess. Anyway, on paper, that resistance level looks to be pretty steady, stable, but technically it doesn't seem very stable at all. The thing to understand is Bitcoin ran up past 25K to this price during two illiquid events. One, a weekend, where usually less trading volume occurs, and two, a public holiday, which means even less trading volume typically. Illiquidity meaning it's easier for things to go both up or down, but considering how big a deal institutional involvement has been made out to be this entire bull market cycle, it was nice to see that this occurred when most of them were likely closed for trading. What happens when they open business again? Are you telling me retail for once pumped Bitcoin? Nice! In addition to that, all stablecoins showcase this self-same pattern. Looking at Tether, there is currently around 100 million new tethers being created every single day. And the supply of Bitcoin is still continuing to be scarce. Hashtag pray for the billionaires. So what do you think is going to happen when the buying pressure continues like this and supply is increasingly smaller? 30K and beyond. We also have another attempt at a Bitcoin ETF filed. I don't know what the chances of this passing are. I think it's an inevitability eventually, but VanEck specifically have had their applications denied multiple times before. We'll find out in a few months, but they do look very prepared this time. Risk factors. They've certainly done their homework. It's about 20 pages dedicated to this. Hopefully, this finally satisfies the SEC. And yes, I know, MicroStrategy exists. Don't need an ETF, but it's hard to argue that more direct exposure wouldn't be a very positive thing here.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I definitely don't need it.
Macro investor Raoul Pal says the amount of money that would enter Bitcoin should an ETF be approved is 5 billion immediately. But chances are it's going to be much more because it's a very fast moving asset. But I can't act like it's only sunshine and roses here. 30K is a crucial level as there is a few things Bitcoin still needs to contend with. Maybe Bitcoin can blow past these obstacles like they weren't even there. But here's three things that are very much in the way. Number one, a 50% climb with no real pullback in a short time frame should technically be exhausting for buyers. Under normal circumstances, this is complete bubble territory. Number two, new year means new tax season for many, which means selling of crypto. That can't believe you would ever say such a thing, but yes, I've delayed selling crypto personally for as long as possible here. I have the vast majority of my net worth in crypto, but I have to sell a bit now for tax. So maybe that's like a retail problem right now. How big a deal is it? But number three, potentially the biggest one on this list, the potential breaking of the parabolic advance. If you don't know, parabolic advances are usually characterized by this ascending curve, usually very steep indeed. Once broken, things can get ugly fast. Peter Brandt warned us of this back in 2018, where Bitcoin first broke its parabolic advance and signaled the bear market in January. Peter estimated a 4K bottom for Bitcoin, and he was not far wrong. Every time there is a parabolic advance in crypto, it ends with an 80% decline in the asset. If it's broken at 30K, that would be very scary stuff. But on the flip side, maybe this time it's not that scary. Once again, we see that parabolic curve. We're very much in parabola. However, Peter's opinion on this is as follows. Bitcoin is advancing in parabolic move from September 20 low. I expect this curve to be violated at some point, but not to produce the 80% decline. Green curve is larger from December 2018 and March 2020. This is the driver of the bull market. I wish Twitter gave the option sometimes of allowing more characters. It's pretty clear here. He hit the limit. What I think he's trying to say is there are other ways of drawing the parabolic curve, some of which aren't actually bearish at all. For example, the 1 month candles, which are actually ridiculously bullish here. And an important question comes to mind. We know that this rally is led by institutions mostly, and if institutions are the ones who keep buying, where is the sell pressure going to come from?
I have bought either through entities, through MicroStrategy or through entities I control, 88,000 Bitcoin. I never sold one Satoshi.
Damn. So those are some of my thoughts regarding a 30K Bitcoin. Unless something drastic changes with these trends that we have going on, of increasing demand and lowering supply, we are in an amazing spot. But alt season, before you follow the advice of influencers and other thought leaders and jump on in like it's a sure thing, let's talk about it. It is great to see some altcoin gains. Some I think really deserve it, like Ethereum. No, it's not outperforming Bitcoin, but as long as this yellow line is at least going sideways, then it's not losing, which is absolutely fine. The total value locked in DeFi continues to climb, and that is a very bullish indicator for Ethereum. ETH is still way below its previous all-time high, first trading now above $700 since May 2018. The USD gains across the board look great, but not so much when you look at it like this. XRP, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, Binance Coin. If this orange line isn't at least going sideways, then you're losing value against plain old Bitcoin. Imagine losing money in crypto against Bitcoin, of all things, arguably the safest bet in the entire industry. That's crazy to me. Still, I'm not going to act like this can't be interpreted as a very bullish indicator. Not all, but many alts have been underperforming for so long now, they arguably have a lot of potential to bounce back, like holding onto a rubber band for a really long time, some of them years. Just keep in mind, alt seasons are becoming smaller and more selective with each cycle. Not just any alt will pump like it did back in 2017, when the rhetoric of alt season really began. Trust isn't so easily given anymore. So is alt season here now? Maybe, yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous. Can we get some love going here? Best example is actually Polkadot, the current herald of the alt season. Amazing gains recently. It's such an extreme pump in part because of how badly it has performed against Bitcoin recently. So, what even is alt season? A relief pump for underperformance against Bitcoin. It used to be something else. That's what it is now. So if you want to rush headfirst into alts, I'm not saying don't. Good luck to you. There are going to be some great gains for those who could time it right. Really life-changing money. Just do it with a proper understanding of what's happening.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Lastly, some really bullish things in the news. $2,000 stimulus checks are being debated in the United States, which, you know, is a lot better than a meager $600. Some of you may have already received that. No formal conclusion on the matter has been given as of filming. Hoping for the best here for my US audience, but as an interesting observation, if all Americans put their last $1,200 stimulus checks into Bitcoin, they would now be worth, I wonder how many more US citizens would be tempted in doing the same this time around, assuming the money is disposable, which might be a big assumption. Coinbase did, however, notice an increase, a big increase of $1,200 buys of Bitcoin last time. You absolute mad lads. Last piece of news, the mayor of Miami, would be open to the idea of getting into Bitcoin. Suarez offered a straightforward response to a suggestion from Anthony Pompliano on Twitter, who urged his followers to tell the mayor he should move 1% of Miami's reserves to Bitcoin. Responded definitely open to exploring it. When asked whether Miami is also considering the possibility of accepting Bitcoin as a means for citizens to settle their bills with the city, the mayor said it is part of their plans for next year. That's actually crazy. We are definitely going to be working on that in 2021. Does he have the power to accept Bitcoin for bills? I can imagine the bureaucracy and the red tape would be a nightmare, but apparently not impossible. And this is off the back of the NFL player Russell Okung. Sorry, I don't know if he's any good. Let us know, Americans down below. But he has agreed to receive roughly $6 million of his salary diverted to mobile payment company Strike to purchase Bitcoin investments. So he's an NFL player not getting paid from the NFL in crypto, but his wage in part will be automatically converted into Bitcoin. This is big news. These people are basically pioneers here. What happens when other cities decide to follow suit, or professional athletes? The dominoes are stacked and they are beginning to fall. And it's beautiful to see. I love this quote when applied to Bitcoin adoption. Slowly at first, and then suddenly. I don't know when that end might be, but it might come sooner than you are expecting.